Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome into the show. This is going to be a little companion video to my video I made earlier about Abigail Spanberger and how I'd love for her to run for president because I'm just endlessly impressed by this political rise because it happened really fast. Fact check myself from earlier. I said I thought she entered office in 2021. It was 2019 actually. And served until this year, of course, and then decided to run for governor of Virginia, pretty important state and or commonwealth, if you will. I don't whatever. Anyways, if you want to be technical, but she won a really impressive win last night. Let me try to remember. I can't. It was by double digits. Let's see what she won by 12 points. Come on. Like Google AI is so inconsistent. It tells you the answer sometimes, then you got to go to AI mode. Okay, she won by 14.6 points. And I was watching a video, not totally related, by Chris Hayes called "The Emperor Has No Clothes." It was about how Donald Trump being historically unpopular is a drag on his party, and he mentioned Spanberger, how she won young men, and I was thinking, have I been too harsh on young men lately? Because I was disappointed, man. Because like millennials, my generation, have been solidly on the left. Like we voted in such a pragmatic way. I'm not pragmatic for us, like voting for candidates that are on the left because that's what's going to help us. Like right wing candidates have never helped young people. That's not a thing. And I was so disappointed when a lot of young men went right wing for this last election. But Chris Hayes was just breaking it down. He's a professional. He actually understands how this stuff works. And maybe I have been too harsh because he explained it eloquently the way I can't all the time, especially when I'm fired up. But he's a professional. He got to remain calm and work with data and things like that. And he said that it's true that 2024 was an extraordinary circumstance that hasn't happened before. Biden dropped out 107 days before the election. He didn't want to drop out. There was historic inflation, the debate that mucked everything up. Just like everything was a perfect storm for Trump. And it doesn't mean that young men have gone right wing or anybody's gone right wing. I've said this, but I forget it sometimes when I'm angry. That America's not a right wing country. You look at the issues on polls and they agree with the left wing, whatever you want to call it, left wing Democrats, leftists, socialists, whatever you want to call it. We're all on the left, and the public agrees with us on most things, especially things like immigration these days, and just economics in general. The public I believe, wants more of a more leftist policies because that's what's going to lead to affordability. We've been lied to that tariffs or drill baby drill, as Trump simply expresses it. That would lead to like energy costs and this cost of groceries and things coming down. People bought that lie because I think people were desperate about their costs. They wanted costs to come down. They were willing to take a risk on this guy. I'm not making excuses for MAGA. I am sort of, and I would never do this in the past, but I am sort of going to bat for the people that don't really believe in this. You know what I mean? That they hate. They maybe are apolitical for the most part. Might have just heard some things from coworkers or whatever. Might have heard one Trump speech. I don't know, man. Americans are really weird. Like not everybody knows what we know. You got to think about it in that way. Sometimes we forget that. I mean, us being leftists, we're normally pretty informed about things. But people bought the lie and took a chance on this guy. I thought that was really dangerous, irresponsible, because you hurt the country a lot. But but maybe I think I have been overall been too hard on young men. Because circling around back to the point of this video, I have a roundabout way of speaking, but I always get back to the point. This is impressive shit. Yes, Abigail Spanberger won young men's vote in the recent 2025 Virginia gubernatorial election. According to exit poll analysis, Spanberger had a 17-point advantage among young men under 30. Overall, she enjoyed a majority support from every age group, measured with wider support among young voters generally. And that's why I know in let's just say hell 3 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, the Democratic Party would never have considered a Spanberger because she's not to the far enough to the left. The purity test bullshit would start up. And here's the I'll be very honest. I would have been a part of that. I say she's too centrist for me. She doesn't support the right policies. I can't vote for her. But I've gone through a massive change in my thinking over the past 5 years. I would vote for any Democrat over Republican because it's just the harm reduction argument that I used to dismiss is true. If you stay at home or you vote Republican, God forbid, you're damaging the country. It's just that simple. The Democrats are less bad than the Republicans. That's just a fact. And if you disagree with that, honestly, you're not worth arguing with because you're not seeing clearly. But I'm really impressed by Abigail Spanberger's political rise. I think she's gonna be great as governor, and I think she's a little too nice for me right now. I think she's gonna harden it over time as Trump tries to attack her if he's that stupid. But I don't think she's done. She's only 46 years old, and I believe there's more for her, more bites at this apple than just being a governor of a commonwealth. I'm talking she could be more than a senator. I think she could be president, and she definitely got my vote. Anyways, it's crazy. It's a 17-point advantage among young men. Please don't ever let me down again.